Leonora. What a guy. Okay. There you see it. And I held it up a couple of times. What a goat cheese. It's like a wedding. It's like a layer cake. It's so dense, creamy, citrusy. Now, the way a goat cheese works, and I brought, look, but I don't know if you can see this too much, but this is called Leonora a Fuego. It has under the rind a paprika. It's a new cheese that's coming in that's spicy. So it's got the same look on the outside, and then it has this heat from the paprika inside. It's super hot in a good way. So this is what we call a cream line. A cheese proteolyzes, so it starts to, some cheeses in the way that they're made, this is a soft ripened cheese. As it ages, it's going to age from the outside in. So this is going to break down little by little, and it's going to get creamier and creamier and creamier. And the white space is going to reduce, reduce, reduce till like it's going to be here. And then you have softer, more pungent, very flavorful product. So this is this style of cheese. Now, the producer, he's a crazy dude. His name's Oscar. Oscar lives to make cheese. He was in the hospital just a couple months ago. He's been in the hospital more times than I can count. He had to have like 2 hip replacements. He had a problem with his knees, and most recently he had a problem with his back. He was supposed to take it easy, stay at home, and rest. His rest, he went back to make cheese. He said, I can't live without making cheese. This is Oscar with his wife, Patricia. They used to work together. She was the scientist, the technician, the quality control person, but they're happier as a couple when she doesn't work with him. So they've raised these amazing 2 kids, Tristan, and I forget this other cute little one's name, but he's nuts. He's really fun. I think there's some pictures of him. He has like a bright purple van, and he has purple clothing, and the one helper he has with him, she dyed her hair purple to be like, to be as part of the scenery, let's say. But what he does is he makes great cheese. This cheese is made with a different type of goat. It's called the Murciana goat. I think we should have a picture there. Do we have a picture of the other goat? Or did they not? There you are. So very different looking goat. Shorter, brown. Sometimes it has like a little mask around the eyes. There's either Murciana or Murciana grenadina. The darker color is more of a blend, and this is more of the true Murciana goat. Also produces milk rich in fat and protein. So you get a creaminess and silkiness. When I used to hate goat cheese. I really used to hate goat cheese because to me, like the soft white stuff tasted like tree bark or wood chips, or it was just so like, it was like sharp for me. It was bitter. And like, that just wasn't my jam. So when I went to Spain, I tripped over this cheese called queso albino, which was later became my drunken goat cheese. And the key ingredient for me was the Murciana goat's milk, that sweet milk. The animal breed has so much to do with what a cheese tastes like. So the similar, and most of my goat cheeses from Spain are Murciana. But this one was the Majorero goat. And I do have one other goat. I have to think about it. When we get to Extremadura, there's other varieties. But those cheeses on the west coast of Spain are earthier cheeses. Their goats are a little bit different. They don't have as high a butterfat content. The terroir is different. So what an animal is, what an animal breeds, what an animal eats, all is very important. Here we are. I named this cheese. It didn't have a name. So it's from outside of León in Spain up here. Really beautiful area, very, very green. And so I called it Leonora after the area. A lot of times in Spain, cheeses just didn't have names. They were called goat, aged goat, young goat. So I had to do something. I knew it wasn't going to sell if you just did that. Hi, can I have that goat cheese? No, that goat cheese. No, that goat cheese. So I just try and get creative and come up with things that help recreate where something comes from. And this is Leonora. And I hope you, and I like this cheese now. This style of cheese, you wouldn't get me to touch with a 10-foot pole when I first started in the industry. I had to grow up to this. So it was fine to have a cheese like smoking goat or drunken goat, but that white stuff, that took me a lot more courage because I had tasted so many bad cheeses. Now, mind you, everything that I say, there is fact and there's subjectivity, and I know that. But since it's our company, we have the luxury of bringing the things that we love. And in order to sell something, I think I said this before, I have to love it. It's very evident if there's something that I have because I have to have it, but I don't love it, I never talk about it. And I certainly would never bring it in a family today to share with you. But these are my great babies. So I'm hoping that you'll enjoy this lemony, just, dense, sink your teeth into it sort of cheese.
I've been a huge fan of goat cheeses, and especially, you think about Cypress Grove with the Humboldt Fog style there, and having all this similarity, the richness that you have here. This is such a creamy cheese. What do you usually pair with this?
I often do a honey. I just didn't want to go. So honey is super great drizzled. I have this one condiment, which is nutty. It's called Arrope, which is concentrated grape must with candied pumpkin. It was brought to Spain with the Moorish invasion years ago. And it's like, you could use like a Saba. So, or like, kind of like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just something that's like a cooked down vin cotto or balsamic, but I'm not a huge balsamic person. So something very viscous, but so you have that sweetness, yet you have a little bit of bitter. That's fun. I mean, the fig jam is classic with it. So, which is why I chose it for it. But, you can get really fun with this.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the fig jam with it, and it's just, this figs it's so thick and rich. It's really just spectacular having these two together because it's almost a meal. Well, the thickness and the so much flavor, and it pairs up really well with pale ale too. So that's kind of nice and easy.
It's those textures I want you to have. You can tell you're eating real food, that there's no additives. This is food at its best. So it's not watered down. It's just true good ingredients. And you don't need to do much if you have just really great ingredients to start with. So that's what the base always is.
Well, when people are trying to accessorize, a lot of times they use fresh fruit. My idea is that, you got to find it, and it's not always seasonally available. And that you just have to open up the jar and you have as good, if not better, the flavors that you're going to get from the fig. So that's a great fig jam. Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm lucky to work with, the people that I work with just have such great fruit things. They do. This is like, I'll just brag because these are our new packaging, which I'm very excited about. We do like all the fig cakes and date cakes from them. It's all hand pressed. It's all, just so minute detailed work. And you have to get all your figs in at the harvest and make sure you have a good harvest, and then make sure that they don't dry out too much, and how you take care of them. And then everyone is destemmed by hand. So whatever goes in here too is destemmed by hand, one by one by one. It's crazy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, it shows.
Thank you. Okay, so we have two guys left, and they're both sheep.